Hey, I'm pulling myself out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning to make this video because I'm lying in bed awake and I can't stop thinking about this. I built this entire channel mostly off cell phone videos like this, sharing the epiphanies that I have, that I've had, and just being obedient to that feeling, that saying I've got to get up and go outside right now and make a night video and share. And you know, I've spent the better half of most of my energy making videos like this, and that's why this channel has hit 52,000 subscribers and an average of 250,000 to 300,000 views a month, and now I get 900,000 views a month online. And it's not me. I think it's me being obedient to the videos. But when you start to build a YouTube channel and you know a bunch of people are watching your videos, it does something to your head. And if you have a YouTube channel, until you've been there, I can't describe it. You have to experience it for yourself. But enough about that. I want to talk about sales, and I'm obsessed with the mindset. Like, when you say mindset, when somebody says mindset, you know, you can actually discount that, but like, well, mindset, I already know what that is. But you don't really know what mindset is until you've experienced and fully encapsulated and lived and transitioned through different mindsets. And then you have the clarification, or the ability to look back at a different mindset you had and go, whoa, now I can't believe I had that mindset, or I can totally see why I used to have that mindset. See, integral consciousness is when you can take a piece of information and follow with me, and you can extrapolate everything else just by having one piece of it, like one drop of the water of the ocean or a petri dish, and then you test it and you could tell what everything else in there is, because as is the micro, so is the macro, as is above, so is below. So I want to tell you a story of how when I first started my landscaping business, you know, everybody who watches my channel knew I grew up poor as dirt on welfare. We never hired anybody to clean our windows or do our landscaping. You know, that was insane to me. I grew up around fear and coupon clipping, and there's never enough. So when I used to sell these landscape jobs to customers, or just property maintenance, pulling the weeds, trimming the shrubs, cleaning up the property, I would literally walk around the customer's property with them saying, and I'm so sorry about the price, and I'll try to get it for you as cheap as I possibly can. And I would say these exact words: as cheap as I possibly can for you. The mulch only costs me $25 per yard, and I'll waive the delivery fee. I'll handle the delivery fee. And I would say it with confidence. I would be like, I'll handle the delivery fee, and in my head, I'll make up for it by pulling the weeds. I'll make up for it. It's okay. And I was apologetically walking around these people's properties with them, getting the price. I was trimming entire properties, pulling the weeds and edging out the garden beds and taking the debris away for $140 when I first started. You're damn sure I wasn't paying taxes, didn't have payroll insurance, didn't have insurance. I was working 90 to 100 hours a week, if you include the time spent at home doing, you know, all the invoicing and stuff. At least 90 hours a week for 3 years straight. But the first 2 years, I was coming home to eviction notices. Like, I was fighting, my wife and I were fighting over this. She's like, what are you doing? And I was like, you know, and this is like one of my biggest videos where I talked about this type of stuff, is mindset. I actually believed I was doing the right thing, and I believed that if I charged the customer any more than for me to make what I thought in my head was $15 an hour profit, because I wasn't calculating, like, you know, brake pads, insurance, fuel, all the different things. But my modality, my way of approaching the business was that if I had to make just enough to make $15 an hour, and I was probably averaging about $4 an hour, and if you were to calculate the cost of insurance and taxes, all that, I was making about negative $25. and the customers were like, yeah, like, and so I was a dude who I had worked for at least 10 different landscape companies and had the blessing to be a floating foreman, which means I get to do a little bit of everything in horticulture and landscaping at this one of the biggest, most professional, prestigious companies in Michigan. And the things I learned there made me a professional, at least at what I did. It made me a perfectionist and made me an expert. So these people were getting top-notch quality work of beautifying their garden beds and trimming everything, and they were getting it for so cheap that of course they loved me. Of course the business was blowing up, right? Of course I was getting so many customers so fast, and my calendar was booked, and I was coming home in the dark, you know, and making no money. But anyways, back to the mindset thing. It just blows my mind now how I used to look back, and I was ridden with guilt. I couldn't sleep at night. If I even made a couple extra bucks off of a customer, like I made an extra $60 working all day, I would literally go home and guilt and scared that like God was going to curse me down, karma was going to get me, I was going to end up in jail. I mean, I was messed up. I couldn't sleep at night knowing that I made it. I would even admit to customers that oh my God, I'm so sorry, I made a couple extra dollars, and they're like, I'll do something for free. In that time, that was my mindset, and the mindset was so real to me, you can judge me if you want, that I actually would reinforce it with confidence. I was confidently ripping myself off and being a slave to customers. And as I started to grow a little bit and raise them a little bit, I was losing these customers who supposedly loved me so much and were so loyal to me because I was loyal to them. I mean, I would run out on a Sunday and go, you know, blow down people's properties, trim their shrubs, pull their weeds, clean their windows on a Sunday for $20. Like, I was making no money. And as soon as I started raising my prices, they were dropping like flies and leaving me. They were upset. They thought I was trying to rip them off. I mean, I could go on for hours and make a ton of videos of customers who literally were so upset with me that I was afraid they were gonna like try to sue me because I was charging so little for jobs. Like, there was a couple jobs I couldn't even finish. Like, there was only half the mulch there, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was trying to make it. I was trying to save you money. Like, that's how I was. I was trying so hard and apologetically to save these customers money that I was actually not even able to complete the jobs, and now they were upset. And like, you know, it was twisted, and it was, see how I like to go into it and be vulnerable and talk about it. So now what I charge is literally I would say at least 5 times, 6 times the amount. $150 job now, I mean, $700, right? I just quoted a lady yesterday to trim her shrubs, pull the weeds, and clean up the property. Not $1,000, but $1,450. I said, yes, it's going to be $1,450 because now I'm charging what it costs to pay taxes and insurance and this and that, and to have an office with a secretary, because I'm trying to work towards all that shit just now after being in the business 6-7 years. It's finally hitting me that the rates that you need to charge to have all that shit, you can't even make that type of money to grow a business just off maintenance. Like, you got to be doing big ass, you know, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 landscape jobs, large commercial window cleaning projects, whatever it is. Like, you need to be making big ass money to be able to afford to grow a company with a fully loaded staff with, you know, proper you know, insurance and payroll and all that shit, and have an office or a yard, and then, like, you know, dump trucks. Like, it never even occurred to me. I just, the level of guilt is so high, and I don't know where it came from. I think it was installed in childhood or something. But back to the mindset thing, it's insane to me how I believed that mindset. Have you ever believed something so strongly and you knew you were right? It's like Dr. Wayne Dyer tells the story about the cookie thief. Look it up. A woman sits in an airport and she's eating her bag of cookies. Some dude sits next to her and starts eating cookies out of her bag. She's like, and she doesn't say anything. And the guy eats, you know, he eats all the cookies. And she's so pissed off, and she gets on the plane. She's like, what a thief. And then she gets on the plane and she opens her purse, and there's her full bag of cookies right there. And she realized that she was eating his cookies and that he was trying to share. She was the, you know, the bad one. So the point of that story is you could believe something so truly in your head, yet and not be wrong, but be totally miscalibrated, and you believe it to be true. They didn't teach this shit in school. If you didn't have parents who were business owners or hustlers, it's not your fault. It is not your fault that you don't know all this stuff. So I just want to tell you one thing. I'm developing a healthy anger. A healthy anger. Like, you ever get so angry you can't even, you're in the shower going like, no, that's kind of, no, that's more like, that's just weird. It's like I can't, like, you can't even brush your teeth without laughing. Like, remember when Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, he's like brushing, he's like, oh, that better. Like, he's like, I can't believe I said that, right? Like, because he was like in this different mindset, right? I like the way movies show stuff. But like, when you just start coming to terms with raw truths, like the way the system is, the lawful and the legal system, the insurance system, the way the tax system works, when you start learning all this shit, you go, whoa, this stuff doesn't have anything to do with my natural, beautiful, loving, caring emotions that I was brought up as a child and watching cartoons and like and going to school and having friends and being a good human being. Wait, there's this legal system and there's all this like all this red tape, and then you start to learn like, oh, I don't know shit about the way the real world works. So you have to become this like almost cold but loving, caring, but cold type of person who includes all of that into your mindset, into your frame. You have to reframe and put on your big boy pants. You have to put on, you know, the guy who understands contracts, the guy who has an attorney. You have an insurance agent. you have to learn how to wear all these different hats and put them on and be able to view the world and your business and your clients through all these different frames and lenses simultaneously, and have an integrated consciousness. And then from that point, you can, and I'm going to close the loop and go back and talk about a healthy anger, going, these clients aren't stupid. Your new customers and your new business aren't stupid. They are happy as shit to know that they got some guy or some girl who's willing to work their ass off and think of it for peanuts. They know you're not. They know you're not insured. They know you're not insured. They're not stupid. They're taking advantage of the situation because they're getting good, clean, honest, hard, thorough work for cheap as peanuts. They know what they're doing. And you think that they're so damn loyal to you. And I'm not saying the customers are bad. These are good people that help you pay your bills. But they're taking advantage of a shortcut. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're, you know, get in where you fit in. Get in where you fit in, right? But I want to say that if you think they're so damn loyal to you, see what happens when you raise the prices. See what happens when you raise the price. They will be gone. They will be gone in a second. And then you'll be sitting there in the desert with no water in the middle of nowhere saying, I thought I was a good person, right? You can literally freaking brainwash yourself into being broke as shit. When nobody's standing there to help you and no one's giving you $1 to pay your bills and they're all gone because you raised the price. I was on the phone with Joshua Latimer the other day, upset, pissed off, angry, and frustrated about my business. And he said, you know what, Keith, there's a saying. You gotta keep them how you get them. You gotta keep them how you get them. Something like that. Or keep them how you got them. Keep them how you got them. Correct me in the comments. But it's basically however you have originally gotten these customers, price-wise, you pretty much got to keep them that way. You can raise the price a little bit here and there, but if you throw a big jump on the price, you're going to lose them. They're gone. So you have to get new customers with the new you, your new upgraded identity. You're now a hustling ass, legitimized business owner who's got real priorities and a real life and a real family to feed, and you come in at that $1,400, right, or whatever it is for you. Whew, it's cold out here. And then that's how they view you. They view you through that lens, right? If there's a story I can't tell because it's not proper for YouTube, but it's a good mindset story for small business owners of thinking like, you come up to the customer and you're like, oh, I'm a high class hooker now. Now I'm 10 times the price. Get out of here. You're $5. Like, it's just kind of a crummy story. And it's not proper. But the way the story is designed is like, you know, and I didn't mean anything by that, but it makes you, it's designed to make you feel like you are, you're the one who's been selling yourself short, and it's designed to get you to develop a healthy anger, and not in a revengeful negative way, but in a healthy way. I like the story of how Jesus, I think it was the book of Matthew, when they set up shop inside of the church and they were selling stuff and had tables all, they turned the church into a flea market, and Jesus came in the church like, what? You do this in the house of my Father? You know, and he literally started flipping over tables and screaming, and he went nuts, and he was angry in a healthy way. It kicked everybody out of the church like a boss, like boss mode. When you get so sick and tired of letting people walk on you, when you let the people who work for you walk on you, when you let your friends walk on you, when you let your clients walk all over you, and you wake up after days, weeks, months, and even years, and you're still a little, you're not a little bitch, I'm sorry, but you're looking in the mirror in your own eyes, and you're like, I can't believe that I'm not moving farther along, because being a nice guy's finished last. That's what it is. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be negative. You don't have to be a bad person to win in this world and to do well. You have to be fair and just and honest and right and have a strong backbone, and stop letting people walk on you, and start doing your research and finding out, you know, whew, I'm going in the house, it's freezing. Look at my little cat here. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He loves it outside. But you get what I'm saying? Develop a healthy anger where you will no longer let your clients walk on you. And if you think they're loyal, raise the price and see what happens. And you don't just raise it, you know. There's certain ways that you can do it so you can keep them, but you gotta kind of get them how you keep them. So you gotta press the reset button on your business and start thinking in a whole new way, because there's people who do exactly what you do and what I do for a living, and they're making a lot more money, right? Granted, I'm very blessed and very grateful of how far that I've come and how far that you've come, but I think we can go a lot farther with mindset. How do you see it? What are we living and thinking and resisting and justifying right now that we're probably totally not even calibrated on, and then we're backing it up because of old beliefs? I want to make more videos like this. Alright, I'm going to go back to bed for a couple hours. Peace.